Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Question number 5. اجعل الفعل في كل جملة مما يأتي جوابا للقسم وغير ما يلزم. Rewrite each of the following sentences, making it jawab al-qasam, and make necessary changes. Now, one thing we need to know about jawab al-qasam, that whenever you see lam and then you see noon at the tawqid, that means that is jawab al-qasam. So that means qasam is mahdhuf, or qasam is somewhere in the beginning of the verse of the Quran, and then jawab al-qasam can be later as well. Ajtahidu min al-usbu' al-qadimi. I will work hard from the coming week. Now, we know that it refers to the future. So when we talk about the future, then it's possible to use lam al-qasam and noon at-tawqid. So we can say, La ajtahidanna min al-usbu' al-qadimi. I will definitely work hard from the next week. So we can say, La ajtahidanna, as we know that we are referring to the future. And whenever we talk about the future, then we can use noon at-tawqid al-thaqila, and also it comes with lam, and this is a lam, as we know that lam at-talaqqi, also we can say this is lam of emphasis, that is used for the purpose of emphasis. La udakhinu, I do not smoke. Now we know that it refers to the present time, that's number one, and number two, it's negative sentence, right? So with negative we cannot use noon al-thaqila. So you will say, Wallahi la udakhinu. And even if you say la udakhinu, that means Wallahi is mahdhuf, or Wallahi is already over there. So basically the meaning will be, Wallahi la udakhinu, by Allah, I don't smoke. Nazuruka ghadan, we will visit you tomorrow. Now it's possible to use noon al-thaqila. So we can say, لنزورنك غدا. Yeah, excellent. So we will say لنزورنك غدا. We will definitely visit you tomorrow. أكره التنابز بالألقاب. I hate calling each other by nicknames. Yes, أكره التنابز بالألقاب. Now we know that we are talking about the present time, right? So when we talk about the present time, we can use lam at-tawqid that comes in the beginning of the, like that comes with the subject. But we cannot use noon al-thaqila with that. So we can say, La akrahu at-tanabuza bil-alqabi. I hate calling nicknames, or I hate calling each other by nicknames. As we know that this lam is lam at-tawqid and it is used for the present time. The example is, Wala dhikrullahi akbar. We have learned that example as well. أعلم أهل بلدي اللغة العربية بعد التخرج. After graduating, I will teach Arabic language to the people of my country. Now, is it something that refers to the future? I will teach, yeah. أعلم, we know that أعلم, the mudari can be used for the present time, and it can also be used for the future time. So now you want to say, by Allah, I will teach Arabic to the people of my country when I graduate. So you will say, La u'allimanna. So we will add lam and then also noon at-tawqid. La u'allimanna ahla baladi al-lughat al-arabiyyata ba'da takharruji. By Allah, I will teach Arabic to the people of my country after I graduate. Sawfa u'tika kitaban mufidan. I will give you a useful book.
It's in the future, it relates to the future. So la.
Yeah, but when we say la sawfa, that means there is a gap between la and then noon at-tawqid. So that means that cannot be used. The condition is that lam at-tawqid and noon at-tawqid, they can be used if they come in one word. But if they are separated, then they cannot be used. For example, we have seen the example from the Quran. For example, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى, and it continues, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. So when we have وَالضُّحَى is qasam, but jawab al-qasam is وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ. So because there is there is a disconnection between qasam and jawab al-qasam. That's why it's not possible to use nun al-thaqila. We cannot use it. So we will simply say, La sawfa u'tika kitaban mufidan. I will give you a useful book. Did you get the idea? If you say, La u'tiyannaka or La u'tiyanna kitaban mufidan, I will give you a useful book, then it's fine. But when we say La sawfa, now what happened? Lam has been disconnected from nun al-thaqila, so that's why it's not possible to use it. As we have seen that there are certain conditions that we cannot use lam al-thaqila. For example, we cannot use it for the present time. We cannot use it for nahi, for istifham, and also when it is separated, we cannot use it. أظنه صوابا. I think he is right. Now, are we talking about the present time or for the future time? أظنه صوابا. I think him to be right, or I think this to be right. Talking about the present time, right? So we will say لا أظنه صوابا. لا أظنه صوابا. I think it, or I think him to be correct. Now we know that this lam is used in the beginning of the sentence, or it is used with the subject for the purpose of emphasis. لا يغفر الله الشرك. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forgive shirk. Now it's nafi, right? Because we have la nahiya. So we know that with nafi, we cannot use nun thaqila. So it will be the same. La yaghfir Allah ash-shirka. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forgive shirk. So whenever we have nafi, for example, here we have nafi. Similarly, when we talk about the present time, and similarly the present time, and also when we have there is a lam and it is disconnected, then also it's not possible to use nun al-thaqila. These are the some of the possibilities where we cannot use it. Uffin ismu fi'lin mudari'in bima'na atadajjaru. Uff is a verb noun meaning I am annoyed or I am irritated. And it is mabniyun, it is fixed. Uffin is fixed on kasra. For example, we have learned some of the ismu fi'l mudari. For example, in prayer we say after Surah Al-Fatiha, in the end what do we say? Ameen. So Ameen is also the same category. Similarly, Hayya is also the same category. And similarly, in the Quran, we have hayhata, hayhat. Hayhat, something that is ba'uda, something that is far away. So that is also ismu fi'lin mudari'in. So that is ismu fi'lin mudari'in, and it is always mabniyun, as we can see over here. Hayhata is fixed, amina is fixed, hayya is fixed, and uffin is also fixed. There are like around 8 to 6 that are very common, that are used in the Arabic language. We call them ismu fi'lin mudari'in. And here that the one that has been used in the Quran, which is uff. So uffin, as we can see over here, and it means atadajjaru, yani I am irritated or I am annoyed. Hati al-madariya wal amra min al-af'al al-atiyah. Now we have to provide the present tense, and also we have to provide the nahi over here. Al-amr, in fact, sorry. So madari, the present tense, and then the command. Yes, nashara. Yanshuru. Yanshuru, yeah, nashara yanshuru, and it will be unshur. Okay. Haraba yuharibu, and it will be harib. Okay. Haraba is to fight. Jadala yujadilu. Jadil. Jadil billati hiya ahsan. We have seen in the Quran as well. So it means to argue. Bagha yabghi, that means to transgress, to go against something. Bagha yabghi, so it will be ibghi. Ahsanti. Nahara yanharu, to rebuke someone. Inhar. Excellent. Okay, so we have here nashara yanshuru unshur, haraba yuharibu harib, jadala yujadilu jadil, bagha yabghi ibghi, and nahara yanharu inhar. Okay, excellent. Bal, let's learn about bal in the Quran. Bal ahya'un. Here the mubtada is omitted. The full sentence is bal hum ahya'un. On the contrary, they are alive. So bal, we will learn about it. When bal precedes a sentence, it is called harf al-ibtida. For example, it's introductory particle. It denotes digression. That means change of the subject. That means the subject has changed. This change signifies one of the two following things, and it signifies two things. Number one, al-ibtalu. Abtala yubtilu ibtalan. That means to cancel something. Cancellation of the previous statement, as in this verse. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Now here we can see that never think of those who are killed in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as dead. On the contrary, they are alive with their Lord. They have provision. Bal is used as here to cancel the idea that they are dead. So the idea that وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا. So the first idea is not think of them that they are dead. And then bal here cancels it completely and says, and to assert that they are alive. So number one, it is used for what? Ibtal, that means to cancel the previous statement. Number one, ibtal, to cancel the previous statement. Number two, al-intiqal. Intaqala yantaqilu intiqalan means to move, to transit. Transition from one idea to another without canceling the first one. So this is simply transition without the cancellation of the previous idea. Ibrahimu kaslanu bal huwa muhmilun. Now you say Ibrahim is lazy. No, he is negligent. So nay, he is negligent. So here what we are doing, we are not canceling the first idea. The first idea remains as it is, but we are adding something to that. And the addition is bal huwa muhmilun. He is negligent. فَلَمَّا رَأَوْهَا قَالُوا إِنَّا لَضَالُّونَ بَلْ نَحْنُ مَحْرُومُونَ. So when they saw it, they said, surely we have lost our way. Nay, we have been deprived of our fruit. Surah Al-Qalam. So we can see over here that the first idea here, it hasn't been like, as we can see, cancelled, right? It hasn't been cancelled. It remains as it is. And then there is an addition that they are saying, the people of the garden, that they are saying that we are indeed among those who are deprived ones. And the same thing over here, bal ahya'un, ay bal hum ahya'un. So here that means indeed they are alive, or they are alive. So hum is basically the subject and ahya'un is the predicate. إذا جاءت bal, when bal comes, قبل الجملة, before the sentence, فهي حرف ابتداء, then it's a particle of beginning. وتفيد الإضراب, and then it basically gives the meaning of abandoning. Literally, idrab means to abandon. وَالْإِضْرَابُ إِمَّا إِبْطَالِيٌّ, and abandoning is even either it is complete abandoning, كما في هذه الآيات, as in this verse of the Quran, as we have seen over here. وَإِمَّا إِنْتَقَالِيٌّ, or it is transferring, or is it passing, كما في بَلْ تُؤْثِرُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا, but you prefer the dunya of the life of the dunya. بَلْ تُؤْثِرُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا, but you prefer the life of the dunya. وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى, and the hereafter is better and forever. So here again, this is basically transition from the previous subject to the next subject. So bal is basically used for two reasons. Number one, it is used for the cancellation of the earlier idea that has been promoted, or it can be passing from one idea to the other idea without canceling the first idea. And bal, as we know, it is bal huwa Qur'anun Majid fi lawhin mahfuz. It's used a lot in the Quran. So now we can see that it can be used for two reasons. Now let's look at some of the examples of Nun al-Tawqid al-Thaqila from the Quran. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُم مِّنِّي هُدًى فَمَن تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. يَأْتِيَنَّكُم, يَأْتِ, and then we have يَأْتِيَنَّكُم. Imma, if you remember, we have seen that if after imma, it is semi-compulsory, that after imma, there can be Nun al-Thaqila, and also, as we can see over here, and also it comes after lam at-tawqid. So there are two possibilities. Either this nun al-thaqila, it comes after the particle imma, and also it comes after lam at-tawqid. So this is from Surah Baqarah. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُم مِّنِّي هُدًى فَمَن تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Then we have قال ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. Now we can see here لنكونن. So it was basically nakunu, right? And from nakunu it is nakunanna, and we can see that here there is lam, and then we have noon al-mushaddad al-thaqila. So here we have both. So here basically lanakunanna, what does basically it mean? It means wallahi lanakunanna, but we know that wallahi is mahdhuf. So قال ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا والله لنكونن من الخاسرين. But we know that whenever we have the combination of lam at-tawkid and noon al-thaqila, that means basically the idea is that by Allah we will be indeed among the losers. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. تموتن ولا تموتن. So here it is, yes, prohibitive sentence, right? Don't die. So it's basically we have mut, and then we have mata yamutu, and then we have mut, and then we have mutu and mutuna. So from that we have tamutunna. You all of you don't die. So all you who have believed, fear Allah as he should be feared, and do not die except as Muslims in submission to him. ولا تموتن, and wallahi ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون, except as Muslims in his or in the submission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
But Ustad, this doesn't look like a lam of emphasis, right? It is.
La, this is lam and nahi, and don't
Yeah.
die. With nahi, it's not compulsory. Whenever there is,
Okay.
yeah, when there is talab, in talab, it's not compulsory, but it's used in the Quran, right? It's possible to use it with fi'l al-amr. Also, it's possible to use it with fi'l al-nahi, and also it's possible to use it with imma. But with imma, it's semi-compulsory. With talab, it is not compulsory, but it can be used. And we can see the example from the Quran. It has been used, so that means we can use it, right?
Okay.
All right. And here we have this verse of the Quran. قال فبما أغويتني لأقعدن لهم صراطك المستقيم. So now we can see over here. قال فبما أغويتني لأقعدن. Do you remember who is this? Who said these verses or these words? Any idea? قال فبما أغويتني لأقعدن لهم. Yes.
Shaitan for he's telling he's speaking
to Allah
to
subhanahu wa
Allah.
ta'ala, yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah. And what he said, that I will definitely sit, or I will surely sit in their path. La aqudanna.
And Allah says that except for the who submitted to me and who are truly Muslims, you cannot touch them.
Yeah, and then and what he says, thumma la'atiyannahum atayati, and ati, I will come, and he says atiyannahum min bayni aydihim wa min khalfihim wa an aymanihim wa an shama'ilihim.
And there's also a dua to seek refuge, like this itself, the same thing, Ustad. Right?
Yeah, وَلَا تَجِدُوا أَكْثَرَهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ. So Satan is saying, and he's saying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that I will sit in your path, which is the straightest path, but I will sit to deviate them from the straightest path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he says, لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ, that I will come to them from right, and also وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ, and from behind, وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ, and from their right, and شِمَائِلِهِمْ, from their back. Baina AD, basically we know that between the hands of something, so in front of them, in fact. So I will come from the front, from behind of them, and from the right and from the left. وَلَا تَجِدُوا أَكْثَرَهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ, and you will not find most of them to be grateful. That means being ungrateful is basically following shaitan. So that's why we have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, La in shakartum la azidannakum. If you are being thankful to me, I will add, I will give you more. Wala in kafartum fa inna adhabi lashadid. But if you are thankless to me, then my punishment is very severe. Now Shaitan says that I will come from the front, I will come from behind, and then from the right and from the left. And the ulama, they say Still, he did not mention he can attack us from the right, from the left, from the front, and from the back, but he cannot attack us when we are prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means when we are going down and prostrating. So that means one of the ways of making tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is when we prostrate or to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the best form of worship. So when we are prostrating, that means he forgot to mention that direction. And also when we lift our hands to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he did not mention that as well. So that means in two things, he can't stop us at all. When we are making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and when we are prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, shaitan cannot stop us from anything. He can only attack us. He can attack from the front, from the back, from the right, from the left, but he can't stop us. However, he won't be able to attack us when we are prostrating and when we are raising our hands to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So alhamdulillah, we are always on the safe side. However, we have to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from shaitan, because he is our aduwan mubin. He is our clear enemy. There is no doubt that he is our enemy. So here we have about Fir'aun, the worst person on the face of the earth. Now look at his arrogance, what he's saying to the magicians. قَالَ آمَنْتُمْ لَهُ قَبْلَ أَنْ آذَنَ لَكُمْ إِنَّهُ لَكَبِيرُكُمُ الَّذِي عَلَّمَكُمُ السِّحْرَ فَلَأُقَطِّعَنَّ أَيْدِيَكُمْ. Now he says, like, I will definitely chop your hands, وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ مِنْ خِلَافٍ, and your legs, وَلَأُصَلِّبَنَّكُمْ, and I will crucify you, مِنْ جُذُوءِ النَّخْلِ وَلَتَعْلَمُنَّ أَيُّنَا أَشَدُّ عَذَابًا وَأَبْقَى, and you will definitely know who is severe in punishment, and the punishment is more lasting. So these are the words of Fir'aun when he said to the magicians, when they surrendered and they said that, okay, we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allah.
Yeah. So the Fir'aun also, so you can see here, uqatti'anna, yani, this is for the, yes, singular or plural? Yani, I will cut your hands, yeah, uqatti'anna. So we know that before nuna thaqila, if we have fatha, that means it can be either yadhabu, tadhabu, tadhabu, adhabu, and adhabu. And similarly here, it will be qatta yuqatti'u. So yuqatti'u, tuqatti'u, tuqatti'u, uqatti'u, and nuqatti'u. So uqatti'anna, I will cut. So that means for the ana, yani ana uqatti'anna.
Singular.
Usallibannakum, again usallibannakum, again yani ana usallibannakum. Wala ta'lamunna, here this one, please tell me this one.
This is for the plural, Ustad, because the ma is there.
Excellent. So it was basically antum
will all know.
ta'lamuna, right? Yeah,
For
you
sure,
all
you
will
all
know.
know.
Wala ta'lamunna, and you will all know. And please remember that whenever we have nun thaqila, it will be translated for the future. And you will surely know, as we can see here, whose punishment is more severe and more lasting. Look at the arrogance. من عمل صالحا من ذكر وأنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Subhanallah. So here, such a beautiful verse of the Quran. So, man amila salihan min dhakarin aw untha. And whoever does the righteous deeds, whether he is male or female. Wa huwa mu'minun. What kind of wow is this? Please tell me quickly.
Wawul hal, Ustad.
Ahsanti wal hal, yeah. While being a believer. So, if someone does good deeds, whether he is a male or a female, and he has to be a believer, that means disbelievers are not included in this category. Some people say that disbelievers, like they do so many good things and they, do so many charity and all that, but it's not for this. It's only for the believers. And there is no discrimination, whether it is a male or a female. وَهُوَ مُؤْمِن. But here we have ذَكَرٌ وَأُنْثَى. But here we have huwa. Why is that?
Because
For
only
both
the male is given.
Yeah, so what do we call it? At-taghlib. Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
At-taghlib. Yeah, perfect. So at-taghlib means that whenever there is a mixed gender, and then you want to figure out, or you want to make one stand out, and then the sigha that is used is for the masculine. But that doesn't mean that because of that sigha, that masculine has been given any priority, right? Because here it refers to both untha wa dhakar, both of them. فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ. Yes, here. نُحْيِيَنَّهُ. Yes, please. Yani, we will make him live, right? نُحْيِيَنَّهُ. And then we have وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُم again. So you know that whenever we have the mudari starts with noon, that means it refers to the first person plural. And of course, when it refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it is always used ta'dhiman li Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is always used as the first person plural. Yeah. So فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ, yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, look at the reward that we will get. Whoever does righteous deeds, male or female, while being a believer, we will surely grant him a good life, and we will surely reward them according to the best of their rewards. So he will have hayatun tayyiba fi dunya and also fil akhirah. So the reward of doing good deeds while being believers, there are two rewards, and Sheikh Salih Al-Uthaymin, he used to refers to this verse all the time, that if you want to have a beautiful life in the dunya, do good deeds, and you will have two rewards. You will have hayatan tayyibatan, yani beautiful life in dunya, and also in the life that is hereafter. Okay, here لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ. Yes, tarawunna is basically what?
Plural is that?
For the
plural.
for the second person, yeah. So give me the real verb. What will be the real verb? It will be tarawna. Tarawna. Yani antum tarawna, and then we know that whenever we have wa or ya, then what happens? Dhamma comes before the nun al-thaqila, so it becomes latarawunna al-jahim. You will surely see the hellfire. Thumma latarawunnaha ayn al-yaqeen. Then you will surely see it with the eye of certainty. And here we know ha refers to jahim, because jahim, jahannam, everything that consists of fire is feminine. So jahim is also feminine. Jahannam is also feminine. So it was basically tarawna, and then tarawna has become tarawunna. We know whenever we have the weak letters, some change has to take place. ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. Then on that day you will surely be asked about your worldly pleasures. لَتُسْأَلُنَّ. Yes, please give me complete analysis of تُسْأَلُنَّ.
Tus'aluna becomes
So again for the
tus'aluna.
plural Ustad, you all will be surely.
Yeah, but something is missing. Is it active or passive?
It's passive,
Tus'alunna, passive Ustad.
Two is
Passive, yeah, excellent. Yeah, you will surely be asked. So this is passive. It was basically tus'aluna, and from tus'aluna, it has become tus'alunna. So alhamdulillah, now we are able to figure out and understand the verses of the Quran. That's fadlullah ta'ala, nothing else. And he has blessed us with all these things, and alhamdulillah, we are able to understand now. That's it. Our lesson is done. We have just the vocabulary part. Da'watun, da'awatun, prayer or supplication. Also, it means invitation as well. Azza ya'izzu, izzatan, izzan wa izzatan. So to be strong, powerful, and honored. As we say, Allah, azza wa jalla. Azza wa jalla. So these are two basically verbs in the past tense. So generally people say azza wa jal, which is really not the right way to say, because it is azza wa jalla. Haraba yuharibu, muharabatan is to combat or to wage war or to fight. Nashara yanshuru, nashran, to saw the wood, to cut the wood, and also to spread. Taraka yatruku tarkan, to leave or let's be renounced. Allama yu'allimu ta'liman, to teach, and ta'lim, as we know, is the master, teaching. Allafa yu'allifu ta'lifan, to write a book or to compose a book. Waffaqa yuwaffiqu tawfiqan, to lead someone to success. Wa'adha ya'idhu wa'adhan wa'idhatan, to exhort or to admonish. Can you give me a verb that has two masdars or masdaran similar to this one? Idatan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, adada khalqihi wa rida nafsihi, wa zinata arshihi, wa midada kalimati. So wazana yazinu, waznan wa zinatan. So zinatan is the same as idatan. So I mean to say, sometimes a verb has two masdars, and the second masdar comes on the pattern of fi'alan, as we can see over here. So it will be, here we have idatan, and from wazana yazinu it is wazinatan. Hasanatun, good deeds, good things. Jadala, yujadilu mujadalatan wa jidalan. We know that from 3 has two masdar or masdaran. For example, jahada yujahidu, mujahadatan wa jihadan. Similarly, nafaqa yunafiku, munafaqatan wa nifaqan. Murabbin, it's basically from rabba yurabbi tarbiyatan fahuwa murabbin. We know that this is ismul manqus. So ismul manqus, the i'rab of ismul manqus, when it is marfu and majroor, it will be always with kasratan, as we can see over here. And when we have al with that, we know that ya comes back. So so it becomes al murabbi, educationist, or to bring up a child. Nahara, yanharu nahran, to rebuff, chide, or talk harshly. Khandaqun, trench, the battle of trench. Naqala yanqulu naqlan is to move. Sakinatun, tranquility, peace of mind. Laqiya yalqa liqa'an, to meet. Laqa yulaqi mulaqat, to meet. Tayyib, tell me the difference between these two. Let me see.
This is the 3 and 4 letter verb, Ustad.
Okay, laqiya yalqa is from number 1, right? And laqa yulaqi mulaqat is from number 3. So what will be the difference between these two?
Like jadala, this one. So
Yes,
it will have two masdars.
Okay. Possibly two masdars, but one is also possible. And we know that it takes extra ta marbuta when we have alif as the second in the middle. You're almost there. So this, we know that this is reciprocal, right? This form, number 3, has to have like two persons or two things or two parties being involved. Laqiya yalqa is to meet. You can meet one person. Yeah, laqituhu, for example, laqituhu fi suqin, I met him in the market. But laqa yulaqi is basically when two parties come against each other. For example, to have a fight so jadala yujadilu. So when two persons are intentionally involved into doing something, and one of them is active and one of them is passive, then this form is used. So that's a small difference between form number 1 and form number 3. Fitnatun, and the plural is fitanun. It's trial and temptation. Baytun, home, and also couplet or verse of the poetry. Radda yaruddu, raddan, to reply, to send back. Baraza yabrizu or yabruzu buruzan, to come into view, stand out, protrude. Barizatan, we have seen, when you see the lion smiling, don't be deceived that he is smiling, right? Laythun, and the plural is luyuthun, lion. Then we have nabun, and it has two plurals, aniyabun wa nuyubun, cannon tooth of the lion. Lahiqa yalhaqu luhuqan, to become attached. Akkada yuakkidu, ta'kidan is to emphasize, or it also means to confirm. Wakkada yuakkidu tawkidan is to emphasize. So basically the basic difference is akkada yuakkidu ta'kidan is basically it means to confirm. Yurja at-ta'kid, that means please confirm. But when we say wakkada yuakkidu tawkidan, that means to emphasize. So that's why you will see sometimes the word that is used for emphasis is tawkid, and sometimes it is ta'kid. Both of them are used. But akkada basically means to confirm. Mawdu'un, mawadi'u, subject. And now we can see that mawadi'u is mamnu min as-sarf. And inshallah, the next lesson will be all about al-mamnu min as-sarf, about diptodes. Jaza yajuzu jawazan, to be permissible. Wajaba yajibu wujuban, to be obligatory. Ghayyara yughayyiru taghyiran is to change. What's that? Tadajjara tadajjuran. So it's basically tadajjara yatadajjaru tadajjuran, to be annoyed or vexed. Hatta yani, it is annoying when you say this, right? It is annoying. The meaning is also to be annoyed, and also when you say it, it is annoying as well. Lazima yalzamu luzuman, to be necessary. Jaza wa lazima, these are two very, very common verbs that are used when we talk about the grammar, and also wujuban, wajaba yajibu. Bagha yabghi bughyatan, to seek or desire, and bagha ala, when it comes with the preposition of ala, that means to wrong or to commit aggression. Sawaban, right or correct. Idrabun, so literally abandoning something, and we have seen that the particle bal signifies abandoning the subject preceding it and proceeding to a different subject. Idrabun ibtaliyun, totally abandoning the previous subject, and then we have idrabun intiqaliyun, passing to another subject without abandoning the previous one. Alhamdulillah, lesson number 33 is finished. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Walaikum salam. But still I didn't understand.